Hello everybody, this is Trina. This is number, I'm going to say 5A in my mini-series with the Love at First Sight Workshop Your Way kit from Close to My Heart. I'll have the links below to the things that are available to use. So for this card, I've gone purple. So I've pulled out my Lilac, Pansy, and Eggplant ink pads, and I just squish it, the lid to the ink pad, and you open it up, and you have a well here so that you can add water and you can use it for watercoloring. So I went ahead and did my first coat in the Lilac color, which is our lightest purple. It is so so light and dainty. It's I love it. I really love the new ones that they came out with this catalog, or I think maybe it was in between the last catalog and this catalog, but I still. And so now I'm going in with the Pansy and I'm using it as my mid-tone, and I'm just bringing in a little bit of color so that, it just kind of darkens towards the bottom, and then I will go in with the Eggplant, which the Eggplant has a touch of red to it, and I don't know. In the end, I really like how it turned out. I do think that I'd rather it not have the red tinge to it, but if I wanted to, I could use a darker version of purple in like my Arteza real brush markers. You can mix and match these. They don't act the same, of course, but I think they would turn out great either way. So I am, like I said, just going in. I only have like about 10 minutes worth of coloring here because I go through this with you guys, and then I will do a real-time, the rest is a real-time video, so I will be talking you through that in a real-time video fashion. So as you can tell, that's what I've got. Isn't it pretty? I just love it. So I'm also using the Fern and New England Ivy. I do think I could have used Sweet Leaf and New England Ivy, but I don't know. I don't know if I could have got those colors to blend as well. But one of the things with Fern is you want to spray it and you want to you want to mix it and let the little, I don't know, I have the words for it, the little pieces of pigment ink pieces to disperse, because as they disperse, like at the beginning, they disperse red, like a red rusty tone, and if you just paint that on, it will disperse with the water on your piece, and then you will end up having a little, having some red bursts in there, or rusty colored bursts. And I think that's just the way that they make the ink pads. It doesn't do that on like when you're stamping with those, it does not do that at all. It's just once you add water and excess or a lot of water to it. So what I did, that's one of the reasons I sped this up, is because I did take a little bit of time and just go really slow so that it gave the ink time to, kind of disperse those colors, and then I was able to, remix it, and it came out perfect. The actual color, it came out pretty much the color that you stamp. So that's kind of what I'm doing now, is just going through and coloring all of the leaves. If you watched my last video, I did, or not the last video, the video before last, I did this in the navy blue colors, which I used my Arteza real brush markers instead of my ink pads. But my ink pads, watercoloring with my ink pads is one of my favorite things to do as far as coloring is concerned. I didn't have any markers when I first started watercoloring with these, and I was like, you know what, I can do this, so I might as well utilize this technique if I can. So that's when I started watercoloring with it and doing ink smushing and all kinds of stuff that I love doing. Anyways, so I'm pretty much just going through with the Fern, and then I will kind of highlight the shaded areas with the New England ivy. I do kind of do little flicky motions. I really have to work on my flicky motions. I think for leaves I could do better than I actually do. So yeah, right here I just decided, the center of that flower really should probably be dark. So I went in and darkened it up a little bit. So this is the New England ivy. Now this one you don't have to wait for it to disperse the ink bits, but as you can tell, it's a pretty strong color. It's a dark color, but it's pretty strong. So I went ahead and kind of fast forwarded a little bit through that until the end. I wanted to show you guys kind of how I did it, and but I didn't want the video to be too long, so now I'm going in with the same purple colors that I did the flowers with, and I am adding a little bit of water and going over the banner here that says thank you. Now, honestly, if there's many different types of sentiments that you could put in this particular banner. The original, which I will leave the link to the workshop below, the original comes with happily and love. And I used them for the very first video, or I think it's second video, maybe second and third video, I think it's second video in this series, and I love how those cards turned out. And I didn't even manage to do it all the way by the instructions, but that's kind of my MO. So anyways, you can as long as it fits in that banner, you can put it in there, which is awesome. And the original ones had actual words down below and above the banner, which you could do that too. I just want to say thank you. I guess I could have said thank you so much or something like that. So as you can see, I started out with the lilac, went in with the pansy, and now I'm kind of going in with the eggplant. And that is that. I totally skipped through that. But I didn't want this to be too long, so after this I'm going to color in the little leaves that are poking out each side, and then I don't know if I think I do go over with both colors on this one. And I do keep a paper towel handy, just in case I need to get some of the moisture off. So yeah, you don't need a whole lot of the New England ivy, so I hope you liked this watercoloring with ink pads, and I will see you in the video. Oh yeah, I'm gonna dry it and then I'm gonna cut it out. So I will see you in the video. Alrighty, so I just finished the coloring of these, and I used the pansy, what was it? It was lilac, pansy, and eggplant to color these two here. And I love the purple colors. I love how they work so well together. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly put this card together. I'm again using this card kit, and I have cut the pieces out, and instead of using the watercolor pencils that they suggest in the instructions, I went ahead and used my Close to My Heart inks, as I showed in the previous video, I probably explained that too. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this together. So I'm thinking I want to stress the edges of these two. I think because the tones, the purple tones, are kind of a vintagey feel, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. It doesn't take all that long to get a lovely vintage feel going on. So vintage, when I mean vintage, I mean like distressed, aged, rough, worn, and this does that to the edge of paper very, very well. So I have yet to make the coordinating card pieces for the other card that goes along with this one. The kit cuts pieces for both cards here. So this one is going to be a recreation of this card here on the left, and I have yet to, I mean, I've cut out all of the pieces, but I don't know if I want to use the Blossom, or the, what is it called? I say bashful, but I don't know if it's bashful. Ballerina, that's one. I knew it started with a B. Anyways, I don't know if I want to use the ballerina cardstock. I'm thinking, because I have some purple, I don't know if I have the lilac or not, but if I had the lilac, that would be awesome, and I could just replace the lilac, or replace the ballerina for lilac, and color the thank you just like I did this one. And I think I would really like that. So that might be what I do for that card. We'll see. I just don't want to do all of the cards the same. I don't know what it is, but I like experiencing different cards. I mean, even though it's the same pattern and it's the same concept, I like being able to change up the look of the card with what I have on hand, and I like showing you guys that you can do the same things, that you can purchase these kits and switch out a color, because this kit, it does come with the ballerina cardstock, but you don't have to use that color if you have other cardstock. You can follow the instructions with a different color of cardstock if you want to, and then just replace that, and you cut it at the same sizes and everything, and just, you know, use that. Same thing with the pattern paper. You don't have to use the same pattern paper. If you like the cardstock and you want to change out the one pattern paper, then you can do that. It's so versatile, and that's one of the things that I really wanted to show you guys, which is why I've made so many of these videos. So I think I might have a week's worth of editing to do for all these card videos, but I'm excited. I'm very excited to get crafting again, get back up on task, and it's very exciting for me. So now, honestly, with this one, I could have flipped this over and used the lighter tone, because this would go great with the lighter tone as well as the darker tone, or the charcoal. Okay. Evidently I'm putting this down first, so we're just going to center this in there. I hope my nails don't scratch the paper, because I don't really need purple on my paper. Okay, that looks good. And as you can see, if you get a little too much color in there, it'll go through the paper. So, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference, but as far as this card, if you want to use the back side, or make sure the back side is seen, then you won't want to, you know, put so much color or water on there. Alright. And then we do the foam strip on this one here. I don't know. I have some foam already cut, so so I would have to say the 3D foam tape from Close to My Heart would be great for this because it's already in that narrow strip. But this works pretty good. Use what you have on hand. And if it's a little too long, then that's okay too. You can just trim it off and use that other piece for something else. Alright, so I do believe this was 2 1/4 inches up. 1, 2 1/4, 1/4. Just make sure it's even both ways, and that looks pretty good. Okay, well that moved. 2. And 1/4. So keep that there. And just that side. There we go. Okay. 2 1/4. Just like that. And then, now one of the things with this is you don't have to use the silver thread. If you have a color that matches this, which I probably do, I just don't have out right now, I actually might want to pull that. I think I like the silver thread. So I'm just going to grab some, I don't know how much I need. I'm just going to try it, and I'm going to try to straighten this out. Now do be aware when you straighten it out like that, it will fray the edges or the ends a little bit, so it's part of my problem here. Let's see. I don't know if that's, I think that's just too big. Too big. Hoping I can get a little bit of a swirly thing going on here without too much of an issue. There we go. And then I'm going to flip this over and adhere it to the back somehow. Now I'm not sure if I want it to go up or down. I don't know. Let me see what, it's got it kind of spread out, and I did it last time. Spread out between the two spots like that, kind of. That. And then I'm going to trim off these little pieces here. Be a little big now that I think about it. They're kind of big. Alright, so we'll just pull it right back off and make them smaller. Alright, so we're going to go one small one, one medium small one, and one that's just the tiniest bit bigger, I think. And then one of these has got to go down. I don't know which one goes down. Top one goes down. Like that. Uh-oh. Lost the little one. If I didn't care so much about what it looked like, this would not be near as difficult. Like that. Or is it? Oh, that's totally sideways or backwards. Oh well. It's actually not bad. So we might just stick with it. Okay, and I'm going to trim these little 3 pieces off here that are sticking out. You know, I think this part takes most of my time as far as the video goes. Then I just got to do all of my foam tape. It's still just as big as it was last time. It's funny. Okay, so we're going for let's see, what are we going for? We're going for, what is this one? Oh, it's a whole bunch of little ones too. Okay. That one is just one single, which could probably go up here just fine. Okay. I'm going to push that down, and I'm going to take that top off and just put it right there. And then this one needs a thin one right down here. Ah, that's too thick. Oh, that didn't work. Just took the... So I'm going to kind of sneak it underneath of the cardstock that's there already, like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Thankfully it worked out just fine as far as the width goes, so I like that. I am going to go ahead and maybe try to sneak this under here, like so, and honestly I could probably pull the bottom off of that. There we go. And then we've got one for the top. Whoa. Up here. And there. Alright. And then we've got a larger one. That's way too large. Oh, which one of these is what? There we go. And then a larger one here. And that will work perfect. Just like that. And, okay, so this time I think I'm going to only do some bitty sparkles. And hopefully I can get this done fairly quick like for you guys. I know this seems to be taking forever for me to get through all these different cards, but I love being able to alter things and make them useful and, you know, make them my own in a way. Even though they are from a pattern, it's still... Alright, and that's very simple with a little bit of bling. I actually think that one needs moved. Where'd it go? Okay, well, I've lost a bitty sparkle. Guess I'll get a different one. Oh, come on, you can do it. I just wanted to move it down here on the flower, so it kind of, not just, it brings a little, your eye a little bit to the flower, not just the leaves. And that is that one, and I hope I can go ahead, I think I'm going to go ahead and change those out. Now, I don't know if you guys want me to show you that or not. It'll make the video a little bit longer, but I think I've got enough to keep it around 3/4 or a quarter of an hour as far as for the card. So I guess I will get this stuff together and then I will cut it with you just to show you how it works and put the card together.